The Middle East, a region simmering with ancient rivalries and modern anxieties, stands on the precipice of a potential conflagration. Iran and Israel, two nations locked in a shadow war for decades, eye each other with suspicion and hostility. The specter of open conflict, once a distant nightmare, looms larger with each passing day. What if, in a world on edge, Iran took the fateful step of declaring war on Israel? The consequences, both immediate and long-term, would reverberate across the globe, reshaping alliances, economies, and the very future of the Middle East. This is not a prediction, but a thought experiment, a sobering exploration of a terrifying possibility. By examining the military capabilities, political calculations, and potential human costs of such a conflict, we can better understand the stakes and perhaps find a path towards a more peaceful future. This essay will delve into this hypothetical scenario, analyzing the potential triggers, the course of the conflict, and the devastating aftermath. It is a story of brinkmanship, miscalculation, and the enduring human cost of conflict. To comprehend the depth of animosity between Iran and Israel, one must delve into the annals of history. The roots of this enmity are complex and multifaceted, stretching back decades and influenced by a myriad of geopolitical, religious, and cultural factors. The 1979 Iranian Revolution, which saw the rise of Ayatollah Khomeini and the establishment of an Islamic Republic, marked a turning point. This revolution was not just a political upheaval, but a seismic shift in the region's balance of power, altering alliances and enmities. Israel, once a close ally of Iran under the Shah, found itself facing a regime ideologically opposed to its very existence. The Shah's Iran had maintained a pragmatic relationship with Israel, but the new Islamic Republic viewed Israel as a symbol of Western imperialism. The decades since have been marked by proxy conflicts, covert operations, and a relentless war of words. These indirect confrontations have often played out in other countries, turning them into battlegrounds for Iranian and Israeli interests. Iran's support for groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza, deemed terrorist organizations by Israel, has fueled the flames of conflict. These groups have been instrumental in Iran's strategy to exert influence and challenge Israeli security. Israel in turn has responded with targeted assassinations, cyber attacks, and airstrikes against Iranian assets in Syria. These actions are part of Israel's broader strategy to counter Iranian influence and preempt potential threats. Adding fuel to the fire is Iran's nuclear program, which Israel views as an existential threat. The potential for Iran to develop nuclear weapons has been a major point of contention, leading to international diplomatic efforts and regional tensions. While Tehran insists its nuclear ambitions are purely peaceful, Israel remains unconvinced, fearing the development of nuclear weapons that could be used to target it. This mistrust has led to a series of covert operations and international negotiations aimed at curbing Iran's nuclear capabilities. The 2015 nuclear deal, intended to curb Iran's nuclear program, provided a brief respite, but its unraveling under the Trump administration has reignited tensions. The deal's collapse has led to renewed fears and a resurgence of aggressive posturing from both sides. The recent normalization of relations between Israel and several Arab states under the Abraham Accords has further isolated Iran. This shift in regional alliances has added another layer of complexity to the already volatile situation. Feeling encircled and threatened, Tehran has grown increasingly belligerent, its rhetoric towards Israel reaching fever pitch. The Iranian leadership's aggressive stance is both a response to external pressures and a means of consolidating internal support. In this climate of deep mistrust and simmering hostility, the potential for miscalculation and escalation is perilously high. The stakes are immense, and the consequences of any misstep could be catastrophic, not just for the region, but for the world at large. Iran, despite facing decades of sanctions and arms embargoes, has amassed a formidable military arsenal, showcasing its resilience and determination to maintain a strong defense posture, albeit one that pales in comparison to Israel's technological sophistication. Israel's military is renowned for its cutting-edge technology, advanced weaponry, and superior intelligence capabilities. Its strategy in the event of war would likely revolve around asymmetrical warfare, leveraging its strengths to exploit Israel's vulnerabilities. This includes guerrilla tactics, cyber warfare, and leveraging the terrain to its advantage. At the heart of Iran's military doctrine lies its vast missile arsenal, touted as a deterrent force against its enemies. This arsenal is a key component of Iran's strategy to project power and influence in the region. From short-range rockets to ballistic missiles capable of reaching Israel, Iran possesses a diverse array of projectiles, each designed for specific tactical and strategic purposes, many armed with conventional explosives capable of inflicting significant damage. These missiles, while not always precise, can cause widespread destruction and chaos. While their accuracy remains questionable, the sheer volume of fire could overwhelm Israel's defenses, sowing terror and disrupting daily life. The psychological impact of such an onslaught cannot be underestimated. Beyond its missile force, Iran relies heavily on a network of proxy militias, armed, trained and funded by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC. These groups extend Iran's reach and influence across the Middle East. Groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza, with their vast arsenals of rockets and missiles, pose a significant threat to Israel's northern and southern borders. Their ability to launch coordinated attacks adds another layer of complexity to the conflict. These militias, deeply embedded within civilian populations, would likely be activated in the event of war, opening up multiple fronts and stretching Israel's defenses thin. This tactic complicates Israel's response as it must balance military objectives with minimizing civilian casualties. Furthermore, Iran has invested heavily in naval capabilities, particularly in the Persian Gulf, where it could disrupt vital shipping lanes and threaten the flow of oil. Control over these waterways is crucial for global energy supplies. While lacking a traditional blue water navy, Iran's swarm tactics, utilizing small, fast attack boats and potentially mines, could pose a challenge to larger naval vessels. These tactics are designed to exploit the vulnerabilities of more conventional naval forces, creating a significant threat in the confined waters of the Persian Gulf. Section 4. Israel's Edge Technology and Defense. Israel, facing existential threats since its inception, has developed a military doctrine centered around preemption, technological superiority, and a robust defense network. In a war with Iran, Israel would seek to neutralize key threats swiftly and decisively, while minimizing civilian casualties and damage to its own infrastructure. At the heart of Israel's military prowess lies its air force, widely regarded as one of the most advanced in the world. Equipped with cutting-edge fighter jets, armed drones, and sophisticated surveillance capabilities, Israel can strike targets deep within enemy territory with precision. In a conflict with Iran, Israel would likely target Iranian missile launch sites, military bases, and nuclear facilities, aiming to cripple its enemy's ability to wage war. Israel also boasts a formidable intelligence apparatus, renowned for its ability to gather information and anticipate enemy movements. This intelligence edge would be crucial in a war with Iran, allowing Israel to preempt attacks, disrupt enemy plans, and minimize casualties. Protecting Israel's skies is the famed Iron Dome missile defense system, a technological marvel capable of intercepting and destroying incoming rockets and artillery shells. While no defense system is foolproof, Iron Dome has proven highly effective in past conflicts, providing a crucial layer of protection for Israeli civilians. Section 5. The Opening Salvo, a Rain of Missiles. In this hypothetical scenario, the drums of war begin to beat louder with a provocative act, perhaps a clandestine Israeli operation against Iran's nuclear program, or a border clash involving Iranian-backed militias. The tension, already simmering, reaches a boiling point as both sides prepare for an inevitable confrontation. The tinderbox, already primed for conflagration, ignites. The spark that sets off the chain reaction is a calculated move designed to provoke a response. Iran, after perhaps a staged provocation by Israel, declares war, its pronouncements echoing across the airwaves and sending shockwaves through the region. The declaration is met with a mixture of fear and defiance as the world watches with bated breath. The first blow, swift and devastating, is a barrage of missiles launched from Iranian territory and by Iranian-backed proxies like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza. These groups, long prepared for such a moment, unleash their arsenals with deadly precision. Hundreds, perhaps even thousands of rockets and missiles, some carrying conventional warheads, others potentially armed with chemical agents, rain down on Israeli cities, military bases, and infrastructure. The scale of the attack is unprecedented, designed to overwhelm and terrorize. The sky above Israel erupts in a symphony of fiery streaks as Iron Dome, the country's vaunted missile defense system, roars to life, intercepting many of the incoming projectiles. The system, a marvel of modern engineering, works tirelessly to protect the population, but the sheer volume of fire is overwhelming and some missiles inevitably slip through, striking their targets. The impact is devastating, leaving destruction in their wake. Explosions rock cities, sending plumes of smoke and debris into the sky. The once bustling urban areas are transformed into war zones, with fires raging and buildings reduced to rubble. Panic grips the streets as air raid sirens wail, sending Israelis scrambling for bomb shelters. The fear is palpable as families huddle together hoping for safety. Hospitals are inundated with casualties, the injured and the traumatized. Medical staff work around the clock, their resources stretched to the limit as they try to save lives amidst the chaos. The initial wave of attacks, while devastating, is just the opening salvo in a conflict that threatens to engulf the entire region. The world watches, holding its breath, as the situation teeters on the brink of a full-scale war.